everyone, and welcome to the Fourth Down Fiascos Pick'em segment that we do here on YouTube. We were supposed to upload week 4's, and I dropped the ball, so that one's on me. But week 5, we have our pick'ems for you not pick'ems, excuse me, our power rankings for who we think is the best team and worst team in the ELF. So we'll start from the bottom up, just because I think we're all in agreement on 17 through 12-ish?
Tanner, do you want to say our 17 and 16th ranked teams?
Yeah, so the worst of the worst that we got is we got Verifar right at the bottom. And we're all in unison on that one.
Yeah.
They have the most losses in the league now, I think, or maybe Prague has more.
Prague has more.
Prague has more. But, I mean, Verifar, they're talking about relocation, or not relocation. They're talking about going back to their, the
AFL.
or the Austrian League. They've
also played lesser competition and have that many losses, too.
Yeah.
Which isn't great.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately for our boy Carlton, we have Helvetic at 16. Losing to the Seaman was a really rough look.
That was bad.
And the way they lost against Barcelona this week was also
he's doing everything he can.
Get that brother a lineman.
Yeah. All right, Jordan, 15 and 14.
15 and 14. So at 15 we have Prague. Meow. That's about how they played this past week. Actually, they kept it closer than I was expecting them to, but they're still just not very good.
Yeah.
Their quarterback play is a crime against humanity, honestly. Like, that man needs to be put on trial. I'm so sorry, but he does. And then tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not.
Bad.
They can't find another quarterback somewhere.
Yes. Like, honestly, at this point, they would be better off going to like the UK and picking up a cricket player and telling him
to sign Epler once Holmes comes back.
Honestly, yes. Epler would be 1,000 times better, because it's not just the offensive line that's the issue with why the quarterback play is bad. The throws themselves
are bad,
are horrendous. Oh my! I think I could play quarterback better. But yeah, so they're 15, and then at 14 we have Milano. The Seaman.
Yep.
Then that's about it.
Then I'll rattle off our last of identical organization or exact list. Wow, words are hard.
Good work.
At 13, we have Tanner's Barcelona Dragons.
Tanner's.
Wow. Jordan's Barcelona Dragons.
Man, I thought I was the one who had a hard day at work today. Come on, Daniel.
Wow. Yeah, so 13, Jordan's Dragons. And then at 12, it probably starts the bottom half of this league. Can we say that?
Mm-hmm.
Or does 10 start? Or does 10 kind of start the bottom half of the league?
No, I would say that I still think that that Hamburg is slightly above. Like, there is some separation between Hamburg and Barcelona. Like, there's a gap.
So Barcelona starts the bottom half of the league, the bottom 5. And at 12, we all have, like Jordan just spoiled, Hamburg. No, you're good. Just little Sea Devils kind of falling quickly down the power rankings throughout the ELF four seasons. They were really good, and now they're not.
Would rather be a Sea Devil than a Seaman.
Yes. And then I'll list off Jordan and I's 11th ranked team. We have the Panthers, who have fallen drastically fast.
They are nose diving.
We had them at 3, I think, week 3 or something like that, week 2. And now they're at 11.
It's going to be wild whenever they lose to Verifar.
We're going into week 5. Yeah.
It's going to be wild.
And then Tanner, this is where we separate from Tanner. Tanner, who's your 11th ranked team?
I put Cologne.
Cologne.
Cologne, nice.
Cologne.
I put Cologne at this spot instead of Wrocław, just because really Cologne's one win was against Verifar, whereas Wrocław's one win was against Berlin, which is a much better opponent. And I know
Sure.
that was a different quarterback situation, but I mean, Cologne hasn't done a whole lot. And even though they were competitive a little bit against Madrid, I still thought they kind of looked like shit against Madrid. So I really am not bought into Cologne yet. Maybe that'll change as the weeks go on, but right now I'm still really cold on them.
The only reason why I went with Vroslav being worse than Cologne was because of the quarterback situation. I think that if they still had the quarterback, they'd be higher. I'd probably also have them higher than Frankfurt too. But yeah, just with that was a big hit to lose Duncan. So
Oh yeah, they didn't lose. They didn't just lose them. They got rid of them.
well, yeah,
I know what you're
the
trying to say.
fan base lost Duncan.
No, yeah,
their season lost Duncan.
yeah. But can we kind of agree like 10 through 12 is kind of like a no man's land? Like
They're
have
all
the bottom
the same team.
We have the bottom 5, and then we kind of have no man's land.
Yeah, no man's land. They're all the same team.
10 through 12, yeah. So Jordan, you want to say our 10th? We're the same. We're still rocking the same, baby.
Oh, Cologne.
Yeah. So, yeah. Tanner, what's your
I have
10?
Wrocław.
Yeah.
So just flip-flopped.
Instead of Cologne. So just flipped.
Same team.
Yeah. So yeah, that no man land area. And then at 9, we all have Frankfurt Galaxy.
Yeah.
Which feels right being 1 and 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
8.
8, Tanner.
Oh, am I different from you guys again here?
You and Jordan are the same.
Okay. So I guess we both have Berlin here.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to speak for you a little bit, but it's the fact that they haven't played, at least their win have not been very, great.
Yeah,
they played bad teams to win. It seems a little inflated, their record. Their stats seem a little inflated because of those things.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't beat a good opponent yet, so it feels hard to put them any higher than where they are here.
Yeah.
That's fair.
They scream average to me in everything.
Besides offense.
Well, even still, you're...
No, yeah.
Yeah, because we looked it up earlier, and it was... Because of Jackson, it seems like the offense is a lot more exciting than it is.
Oh, yeah.
So...
and I'm only different here just because I wanted to be different.
Oh.
We did have the same 7 and 8, so I just swapped mine just so we didn't have an identical list, because I could argue Berlin at 7 just because of how high their offense is ranked.
Mm-hmm.
And it's once again, it's kind of interchangeable week by week. So it could have been the same. They could be 8. I have them at 7 just because I didn't want to be the same as you guys.
Well, you didn't say who you had at 8, though.
The Ravens.
There you go.
Yeah. I thought I said I did say I swapped our 7 and 8. So yeah.
Yeah, but we never said what our 7 was, so.
You're right. So yeah, I have the Ravens underneath the Thunder.
Well, so then that makes it very clear what Tanner and I chose. So yeah, 7 we have Munich. Now do we start to get some parity in between some teams once we start to hit the top 6?
2 of us have the same all the way up until 2 and 1, and then we're all the same.
So
Tanner and I are matching with Tyrol at 6, and Jordan is the outlier this time.
Yep. The performance from Edwards this past week bumped them down just a smidge in my brain, just because 2 of those 3 turnovers were turnovers that, number one, you absolutely cannot have. And they were also very much so what the hell are you doing type of plays. It'd be different if he's trying to fit a ball into a really tight window and it gets picked, but it was like he was throwing the ball into triple coverage and it got picked once. And then also the fumble that he had right before halftime. So, that to me says that there is weakness in his game. Not saying, again, Edwards has been an absolute monster this season, but he looked incredibly human. So that's why I bumped them down. Whereas I feel like for a debut game from Perry, I mean, He was solid. I mean, again, we talked about some dumb mistakes as drives went along, but he seemed to make up for all the dumb mistakes that happened. So, yeah, I'm gonna give the edge to Tyrol for that.
That's fair. Jordan, Tanner, do you want to explain why you have Tyrol at 6, and then do you want to say your 5, your 5th team? But we have the same 5th team, so
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Tyrol, it was a really impressive win against Munich, and that's why, obviously, I kind of had them neck and neck before I put Tyrol above because I thought Tyrol was going to win that game, and Tyrol really did win by the skin of their teeth. So, for me, at least right now, their places are solidified from what I thought last week. There hasn't been a lot of movement in my brain for why they would be at different spots than right here. I am excited to see Tyrol, and I could easily see them jumping up, kind of like how Jordan has them. But for the moment, there's just not enough. There's not enough traction there for me to put them any higher than here. But I am liking the trajectory of their play style. I am not a big fan of their coaching because I don't know what they were doing on a lot of their offensive plays. It just seems very basic a lot of the times, their offense, the way it runs. And I think there's some weird clock management stuff like we talked about on the pod. If you guys haven't watched that, go watch that, right? But just, running on first down, calling a timeout, running on second, then spiking the ball and having a 4th and 12 to win the game. That's not sustainable winning.
Yeah.
I think that the coaching from the clock management standpoint wasn't very good, but I would disagree a little bit, at least with Perry in this offense has a lot more movement pre-snap than it did before.
That's true.
And, there were also some really good play action plays too. So, I think that you get a little bit more wrinkle in that offense, and I think we're just going to see more of that. But no, I agree. There were definitely some boneheaded calls down the stretch that luckily didn't hurt them.
Yeah. Before you say our 5th ranked team, Tanner, do either of you see Paris or Tyrol jumping into that top 4 without a major downfall of the top 4?
Not without a major downfall, no.
Yeah, I think it would either have to be some sort of injury thing or, one of the teams just starts blowing games that they're not supposed to. And they're not playing as consistently. Weirdly enough, of those top 4, I almost feel like Ryan's the most likely to fall of those top 4 just because we've seen them show blood already compared to the other 3 in the top 4. But I just really don't see Ryan has just been so consistently good.
Yeah.
That it would be weird if they did that. So it's going to be hard for Paris and Tyrol to jump into those top 4.
Makes sense. Yeah, I don't see him jumping top 4 unless
the only way I see it is potentially Tanner. Again, I'm not trying to pick on Madrid. I feel like I do that a lot, but it's just because we both cheer for Spanish teams, so I got to talk some shit. But I could see a world where enough game film is put together on Madrid, where not necessarily that they fall. I still think that they're going to make the playoffs, no doubt, but more of they lose one here or there because people start to figure them out a little bit, however that looks. Whereas, there is years worth of, footage on Rhine and Stuttgart and Vienna, so to speak. So that's the only way I see it in my brain. And I still don't see it happening, but if there was a path.
Fair enough.
Do you have anything? So we have Paris at 5. Do you have anything else to add for that, Danny?
No, they're not a top 4 team. After what we saw this week, and they're playing. Besides this last week, they're playing better than Tyrol. They're not as confusing because of all the changeover Tyrol's had.
Yeah.
If they both a lot of speculation for sure.
Yeah, Musketeers could drop to 5 if Tyrol keeps their quarterback for more than 2 weeks.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Number 4, who do y'all have?
You didn't say who you had 5. Technically, you didn't say.
Oh, well, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
My 6 is Paris, my 5 is Tyrol.
All right.
So mine were just flipped.
Yep. I think Tanner and I have identical ones, 1 through 6. So we both at 4 have the Fire,
Okay.
where you, for whatever reason, have the undefeated Madrid Bravos at 4.
I just with them being a new addition to the ELF and expansion team, I'm just not quite ready to fully drink the entire glass of Kool-Aid. I've drank like 3/4 of the glass of Kool-Aid, and it's good. It's refreshing. It's
It's
ice.
a week by week power ranking. We're not looking.
I
in the
know,
past.
but this is how my brain works, Daniel, and I can't change that. So, I definitely think they have every right to be in the top 4, and I think the margin that separates this top 4 is so slim that it's not a diss in my book, in my brain at least, for Madrid to be number 4.
All right. That's fine. Tanner, you want to say our 3 since?
Yeah, so we both have Madrid at 3.
Fair enough.
And really what it comes down to is Madrid has beaten Rhine, so I'm going to put Madrid above for now. It's going to say a lot, though, for this top 4 movement with the rematch, not this upcoming weekend, but the weekend after.
Yeah.
That'll be a good one.
If Madrid wins that game, then I think it would be really hard to say that Rhine is on the same level as Madrid. But I think if they split this series, I think there's a very good argument that Rhine is still better than Madrid despite that one win. So
Yeah.
we'll just kind of have to see for now. But at the moment, I'm just going to go based off of what I've seen. And Madrid has not lost yet. And they have a great O-line. They have a great defense. And Duncan's playing really well. And they're Patterson and Obi. Like, it's just, there's so much there to like that it's hard for me to not have them be a top 3 squad in the league.
It's fair.
I agree.
Yep. The only reason why I have Ryan at 3, and I mean we talked about this before we recorded the pod, was it's the Alabama effect. Essentially, you lose one game in 2 years. It's really hard for me not to still give you your props and to still acknowledge the fact that you are a dangerous team. Now, had Ryan not have beat Paris this past week, then I probably would have been talking some shit on the show. I spreading some rumors just for funsies. What else do I have to do?
That's fair.
But yeah. So for right now, I still have Ryan at 3, just because at the end of the day, it was their first loss in like 18 months. It's hard for me to let them. It's not hard for me to let them slide down. It's easy for me to give them a pass for one, especially now that we've recognized that Madrid is a damn good team. I think it makes it a lot easier. It'd be different if Madrid wasn't undefeated and, they were down in that, Cologne, Wroclaw, Frankfurt area of teams.
Mm-hmm. We need to have like a watch party or something. Get a big, try to get our people on Twitter into like a Discord to watch that Fire Bravos game in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, the rematch. Yeah, let's get that popping.
Yeah, at least the 3 of us. Like, we can get a Discord going. We can live stream it.
Well, Danny, I'll just be.
Wait, yeah, you can just come over.
Yeah.
But I'm saying for Tanner, and then we can have a mic set up and we can all just talk.
Sick.
Just buy my plane ticket. I'll be there.
I am potentially
Google how much a flight.
So.
Google how much the flight is, and we'll contemplate.
Understood.
I'll say our number 2, since it's my team and we're all the same, baby. Vienna Vikings at number 2. They did not do anything to deserve number 1 because they did not look good in the first half against Berlin.
No, they definitely showed some weakness in the first half of that.
Just
Berlin
a new
game.
Quarterback. It was his first half in a new league.
Yeah. I'm not knocking it. And once y'all get Ben VP back, you'll be fine. So
Ben VP.
But yeah, and then number 1, we're all in agreement too. Stuttgart.
Just looking dominant.
Yeah.
Defense good. Offense good.
Good.
Wide receivers good.
Coaching good.
Yeah.
They look disciplined. They don't get a ton of flags. They're crisp.
Yeah. They look scary.
Yeah.
Tanner said it in the pod. Easy title contender. like top
Yeah.
title, not title contender, top contender.
There might be a slight gap between Stuttgart and everyone else, honestly.
Oh yeah,
That's how it feels right now, at least.
Yeah.
like there's like a 1, and then like a 1.5-ish gap, and then a 2.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Well, cool. Anything else y'all want to add about the power rankings?
No.
It's coming clearer into picture, at least for
Yeah,
us Americans.
Like we have groups now for sure. You know, we've got our top teams, we've got our fringe top teams,
We have
we've
playoff
got our middle of
contenders.
the packs, and then we've got our bottom 5.
Yeah. Bottom 5, no man lands, like I call it. He calls it middle.
And we
Title-
love it whenever
playoff.
Seamen are in the bottom, you know? Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us while we go through our weekly power rankings here on the Fourth Down Fiasco. We'll see y'all next week and probably be just as dumb as we were just then. So, y'all take
pretty
care.
much.
See ya.
Peace.
Adios.